Yeah, Sir Early NC, YouTube. Got another fucking good one. Why do women squirt? What is squirting? I was told it's piss. Come on now, y'all got to get in for this one, man. Come on now. Y'all gotta tune in for this one, man. Yo, where y'all at, man? Where y'all at? 2 minutes in. We ready to get into it.
What is squirting? Is squirting pee? Can all women squirt? Is squirting always an orgasm? Let's find out. Hi, my name is Dr. Jana, and I'm a sex researcher, professor of human sexuality at New York University. And I recently sifted through all the research on female ejaculation, from ancient Chinese texts from the 4th century all the way to biochemical analyses of what's in the female ejaculate from 2015. And I want to share with you some of the knowledge that science has on female ejaculation. What is squirting? So, squirting is basically the expulsion of fluid from the genital urinary tract in women that happens during sexual activity. It can be pleasurable and it can be accompanied with the subjective experience of an orgasm, but it doesn't have to. It often is not. What's the ejaculate made of and where does it come from? So this is the $1 million question. The specific content of the female ejaculate and the anatomical structures that it comes from are still being debated in the academic community. There are maybe 8 or 9 studies that have been published on this topic thus far, and many of them have fewer than 10 participants. So we still don't know a lot about this. But from what we know, there is, as of now, tentative consensus that there are 2 different types of female ejaculate. Okay, the first one is a small amount of milky white fluid. It's about a milliliter to 15, 20 milliliters in amount. So something like this. Obviously, it's not blue, but it's milky white, and it's thought to come from the Skene's glands, which is the sort of female equivalent to the male prostate. And we think this because that milky white substance contains high levels of prostate-specific chemicals. Now, the Skene's glands, which are embedded in the wall of the urethra, they are themselves a bit of a mystery still. It is thought that maybe not all women have them, that maybe only about half of the women have them, and they can come in a lot of different variations in terms of size and positioning and types of ducts. The other type of female ejaculate is the gushing type, right? The one that people see in porn, the one that is most often associated with squirting. Now, this is typically a clear, odorless fluid that can range in quantity from something like 50 milliliters all the way up to 900 milliliters. 900 milliliters. Now, this amount of gushing squirt is How many women have squirted? Well, we don't have a lot of evidence, but we have a couple of studies of this kind ever conducted. And they find that somewhere between 40 and 55% of women say that they've ever ejaculated. However, none of these studies has used a representative sample of any kind, so those percentages are highly unreliable. The honest answer, as of now, is we really don't know for sure. Can all women squirt? We simply don't know that. Because what exactly squirt is and where exactly does it come from is still being debated. We also don't know if all women have the anatomical and physiological structures necessary for female ejaculation to happen.
Explain. Y'all don't want to see my toes. No, I don't want to explain. I want you to explain it. Sorry, LD.
You're fine.
Hello, my lovers. Today I have two incredible women sitting beside me. That's good. I like that. Oh, more, please.
According to social psychologist Dr. Miller, moaning conveys preferences. It reassures partners they're sexually competent and shows gratitude.
It's not just physical. It can be emotional, sexual, verbal, and controlling behavior. No one has the right to make you feel pressured, controlled, ashamed, or scared, and there is never an excuse for abuse.
And we were together at VidCon speaking on a panel called Duh, Let's Talk About
Sex and struggle with sex. And then before we do that,
And so I said, ladies, let's get together in someone's bedroom, you know, kiss.
My bedroom.
And they were like, okay, no on the kissing. I said, okay, plan B, can we do a video together?
so we're doing an exercise called Sex Geekdom Sex Conversations. This is a group that brings together people all around the world for having sexy conversations without having sex.
Without having sex,
Kinda
which we're
like
not
what we're
doing.
Yeah, so we've been running through these prompts on all of our channels, and this is the time.
It's my time to be Alex Trebek. Okay, for 200, when you have a question about sex, whose advice do you seek?
My friends.
Sex Geekdom.
Duh. Which do you think is the most interesting STI?
Most interesting?
Yes.
Herpes.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It's so fascinating, but HIV is definitely
I love
the
HIV.
smartest.
Yeah, it's such
The
an
smartest.
very intelligent. It like disguises itself. It's like a chameleon.
HIV comes into the body, it attaches itself to the T cell. HIV is systematically crippling your ability to fight off anything. People don't die from HIV, people die with HIV. The name of the condition they're in when they start to get sick is called AIDS.
That's mind-blowing to me.
We're okay, thank you. No, thank you. They came in my room at 8:30 in the morning. Like, what kind of Friday do you think I had? How do you imagine your sex life when you're over 80?
Still having it, hopefully. Or
Orgasms in the garden.
Oh, this is a blank question. Okay, I'm gonna make one up. It's not a blank question. All right, thoughts on squirting?
Fantastic.
cool. But I still don't understand like the kind of squirting in porn. I'm like, is it real? I don't know.
Well, I want to ask because I'm curious about this. In all of the research and books that I've ever read that are specifically about female sexual pleasure, squirting has never come up. So why
Really?
is it now that squirting is like a normative of how we experience pleasure?
Really? Okay. Beverly Whipple has a book
Yes.
that is about it, but it's somewhat outdated. And there was an Italian research project. I think it was Italian. You'll have to do some research there to double check me, but that came out saying it's urine, which it's not. And so there's a lot of controversy about it. And even when I was in school, the room would split between biosex females who had squirted and those who hadn't, and it was got nasty.
And this always happens when I get turned on. Okay, maybe I'm exaggerating the whole squirting thing just a little bit. Here's 6 facts about squirting you need to know right now. 1. Squirting is not female ejaculation. The only thing they have in common is that they're both due to female sexual pleasure, which, last time I checked, was a good thing. These start in 2 different parts of the body and are made up of completely different elements. Squirting certainly can be part of ejaculation, meaning it's possible to have one without the other, or both at the same time. Hey now! 2. The definition of female ejaculate. Biology lesson. Your ejaculation begins with your skin glands, which sit on the anterior wall of your vagina on either side of your urethra. They're sometimes referred to as the female prostate because they produce a semen-like fluid. No, your lady juices do not contain sperm. Duh. Otherwise, we'd get pregnant every time we masturbate. And the Virgin Mary would have way less of an excuse. If you're